I know it's late.
Senator Pohl to speak on the report.
Thank you, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. I know it's late. We've been here for quite some time, but this is the most important bill of the 2025 session. This budget doesn't just keep our government running. It impacts the real people, Hoosiers, that are depending on us. They're counting on us to pass a budget that, yes, will be balanced, but more importantly, one that reflects their needs and their values. The balance between everyday people, profits, corporations, handouts, things of that nature. A budget prioritizes the working families, our children, and our aging parents and grandparents, and unfortunately, this budget falls short of that promise. Budgets are not just figures that we're just throwing up at the wall. These are value statements. At the start of this section, each caucus laid out its priorities, and tonight we clearly see that those priorities made it into the final bill and those whose did not. What we have before us is a budget that prioritizes subsidizing private education for the wealthy over adequately funding special education for our most vulnerable. It gives tax breaks to businesses, while working Hoosiers get what amounts to essentially spare change. We've seen cuts to public broadcasting. As Senator Cadora pointed out, most of us have done all of the interviews in the hallway at the beginning of a session, informing our constituents of important issues that we're fighting for on a platform that is nonpartisan, directly to the people. In this day and age, that's a rarity for people to see on their television. At a time where you see every network, every cable network out there putting their spin on things, public broadcasting allowed us to speak directly to Hoosiers, informing them of what is important to us, informing them of what's happening in this building, and informing them what's happening in the rest of the state. Public broadcasting in Indiana serves about 95% of the state, connecting Hoosiers of all ages, backgrounds, and backgrounds with programming that informs, educates, and inspires. Without that support, the impact will be profound. Young children and families will lose access to trusted educational programming that prepares children for school and lifelong success. Seniors will lose resources designed to support healthy, independent living, from financial literacy to wellness and digital safety. Local artists and historians will lose an essential platform for preserving and sharing Indiana's rich cultural heritage. Public safety infrastructure will be impacted. You may not realize this, but ultimately public broadcasting plays a vital role in distributing emergency alerts and information. But essentially all Hoosiers are risking losing the access of fact-based, community-centered news and information that strengthens civic life and fosters informed decision-making. We were told that childcare, that CCDF fund, the wait list would be eliminated, and we found out how. Essentially, we just decreased eligibility for it by making fewer families qualify. That's not solving the problem, that's shrinking the circle so it helps fit the budget, not the need. So now a family making $250,000 plus can send their child to a private school on the state's dime, while a family making less than $45,000 a year doesn't qualify for the help with childcare. This is not just unfair. It's a false choice between keeping a job and caring for a child, giving a family in the gated community thousands of dollars in taxpayer dollars, while a family in public housing has to stay in public housing because mom can't afford childcare, so she can't go to work. Let's be clear, we are facing a $2.4 billion shortfall over the biennium. So this is definitely not the time to roll out universal private school vouchers. It's not the time for corporate handouts. It is the time to stand with Hoosiers that are scared. Stand with our children, to stand with our seniors. These are the people who've been watching this session with hope, hoping not to be forgotten, hoping their programs won't be gutted, hoping that someone in this chamber will fight for them, hoping that the chaos at the federal level will not make its way to the Hoosier state. I can't support this budget. I cannot vote yes on a plan that leaves so many behind. A plan that cuts funding for those who are calling out for help. A plan that will cause public schools to suffer, public police departments to suffer, and our most vulnerable neighbors to be overlooked. I urge my colleagues to remember who sent us here, and I'm voting no.
Hey, Senator Taylor. So,